The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, we are live. It's 3:07 p.m. So, happy Monday to you guys. Happy Monday. Hope you guys are starting your week off well and in an exceptional way. Because I know I damn sure am. I'm still gassed off of the whole Teofimo Lopez Lomachenko fight. I'm so happy that Lopez beat Lomachenko, but not only am I happy that he beat him, I'm happy that he beat him in the fashion he beat him. You know, he outboxed him. I thought he was gonna fold him up like a blue steel chair, and that's not what he did. He went in there and he was technically sound. He was smart. He was poised, and he showed maturity and boxing skills and a boxing IQ that is well beyond his years. So just a big shout out to him. But in this particular live, I want to focus more on Lomachenko. I want to focus on not just where he goes from here after this fight, because that's the talk right now. Where is Lomachenko going to go after this fight? What exactly are his options moving forward? So we'll get into that. But I wanted to focus in on some comments from him, and I wanted to start with his comments after the fight that were on Boxing Scene and whatnot. And I wanted to kind of use that as the foundation for what I'm going to talk about. So if you're here right now, shout out to you. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you can check out all the great content here on True School Sports, because there's plenty of it. We got it in spades. And you know what? We're gonna start the live off like this. All right. I know yesterday was Sunday. Today's Monday. It's a new week. But you know what? I'm gonna go from BT. I'm gonna transform from BT, Brendan Taylor, and the untouchable True School Sports Empire. And I'm going to transform from him for a second, and I'm going to become Pastor BT. I'm going to become Pastor BT because, listen, we got to pray for Lomachenko. We got to pray for him, man. We got to pray for him because he seems to be in big denial about the loss. So let's bow our heads. Let's bow our heads and let's pray for Lomachenko, all right? Let's pray for him. Dear Lord, thank you for today. Thank you for everything you've given us. We pray for Lomachenko. We're thankful that him and Teofimo got out the ring safely. And we pray for his boxing career. We pray that his career continue to flourish and do well. And overall, Lord, we just pray that Lomachenko be humbled by this loss, that he be humbled by it, and that he become better for it. And in Jesus' name, amen. See that? Pastor BT. I'm Pastor BT. And you know what? While I'm Pastor BT, why don't y'all pull out your Bibles? Pull out your Bibles, all right? To Proverbs 16, verse 18, because this ties into what we're talking about today. This ties into what we're talking about today here on True School Sports. All right. Proverbs 16, verse 18. It says, pride goes before destruction, but a haughty spirit before a fall. So there you have it. If you don't know what the word haughty means, the word haughty just means arrogantly superior or disdainful. So, you got to humble yourself to become better in life, not just in boxing. You got to humble yourself. When you're wrong, you got to humble yourself. When you're cocky and you talk a lot of trash and you lose, you got to humble yourself and say the other guy was a better man. And that ties into exactly what we're talking about today with Vasyl Lomachenko. As you guys can see in the ticker, the thing scrolling on at the bottom, there's the quote right there. It was from a Boxing Scene article. All right. Vasyl Lomachenko, in straight denial, he said, I quote, I want to go home and see what I can do better. I'm definitely not agreeing with the scorecards. I thought I won the fight. Lomachenko. So he thinks he won the fight, and he ain't the only one that thinks he won the fight. We had a lot of I've interacted with a lot of his fans following the victory of Teofimo Lopez, and they've been delusional. They said he was just playing smart. They said he was just playing smart, that he was just downloading the information. He was downloading the information. But I guess the internet connection was working too good because he waited too long to process the information. He needs to get a better processor. Maybe he needs to upgrade from an HP to an Apple. I don't know. Maybe he needs a new computer because he gave away the first. Listen, he gave away the first 7 rounds. I haven't had a chance to rewatch the fight yet. I'll probably watch it tonight and then do a video about it. But I scored it 116 to 112 for Teofimo Lopez. So I thought Lopez won pretty clearly. There were a couple of swing rounds. I could see 7-5. I don't think he did enough for a draw though. I think he gave away a little bit too many rounds for a draw. I can't see that, but some people had it a draw. Some people whose opinions I really respect in the boxing world had it a draw. So make of that what you will. But I'm gonna get into the comments before I get into my points, because I have a lot of points I want to get into. I'm gonna be here for at least an hour or two, and then I'm gonna hop off. But let's get into some comments. I know we got a couple comments. Let's see. We got Intangible Boxing News. He says, hello. Joe Mata, what's up, champ? How you living? You good? Let me see. Haney, the next Shane Mosley. Who is this? Salute BT. Loma probably still beats Haney Tank, in my opinion. I think so. I actually think he'd beat I think he'd beat both of them, to be honest with you. Eldar, what's up, champ? How you living? I had the fight a draw, but I have lost a lot of respect for Lomachenko, not because he lost, but because of his actions outside the ring over the past year. And we're gonna get to that in this live, Eldar. We're definitely gonna touch on that. They're saying he only had 1 to 2 sparring partners for his camp. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, I had it 116, 112 for Teofimo Lopez. So I wanna get into my points because we have quite a lot of points to get to here on True School Sports. But yeah, before we get into the points again, all right, go pull out your Bibles and maybe Lomachenko should go pull out his Bible because they said he was in the locker room. He was reading something before the fight. He had his little book open. And they said it was a Bible, so maybe he should turn. Maybe he should turn to that scripture. Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. He was very prideful in the build up to this fight, extremely prideful, damn near disrespectful. We're gonna get into that now. So when we talk about Lomachenko and Lopez, right? This is the same Lomachenko. He was very cocky in the build up to this fight, extremely cocky. I mean. Let's take it back to February 2019. I did a video about this. All right, he was talking about when this all started, when Lopez Lomachenko was first thrown out there as a possibility, and that's when I really started talking about this fight. Was around January 2019. Lomachenko said, I quote, "I will not be surprised at all if he being Teofimo, quits in the middle of the fight. He needs to, if not become a champion, then put himself in a mandatory position." Okay, and he eventually, as many of us know, he did that. He fought Edis Tatley, he fought Nakatani, and then eventually he beat Richard Comey. So he actually, literally, right after this article came out, Teofimo did everything possible to put himself in position to get this fight. He didn't just talk the talk, but he walked the walk in terms of positioning himself for this fight. So he was saying that he was going to make this dude quit in the middle of the fight. He was the same guy he thought that Teofimo Lopez was sweet. He thought he was just like Nicholas Walters. He thought he was just like Jason Sosa. He thought he was just like Ringendale. But like I told you guys many times, and I'll tell you again now that it's happened, he ain't them guys. He's better than all those guys. He's better than all of them. He's better than Walters. He's definitely better than Sosa. And he's better than Ringendale. I'm sorry, he's better than Ringendale. Ringendale, great amateur, but Teofimo, in my opinion, has already accomplished more than the pro game than Ringendale has, and that's just a fact. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, he was saying he was making a quit in the middle rounds. And if we look at what happened in the middle rounds of this fight, he was getting outboxed. Even when he started to get his way into the fight and win some rounds, it still took him a while to get his rhythm and to get settled in. So that's one empty promise right there from Lomachenko, right? So then fast forward to April 2019, he starts puffing his chest out some more. And he's talking about, I'll read you the quotes. It's from Bad Left Hook. Here's what he said. I'm rereading it to you guys. I'm rereading to you guys quotes that he said, so we can fully remember what he said and how he's acting now. April of 2019, about Teofimo Lopez calling him out for the fight. He said, I quote, "My father said to me when I was a kid, if you are strong, show your weakness. But if you are weak, show your strength. In this situation, objectively as well as subjectively, it is clear that they are trying to show their strength. The strong person is never going to shout about it. They're never going to try to insult somebody. That person is going to silently do their thing and prove it with their actions and not words. So far, it's just a lot of talking. Him showing his strategic thinking in probably business, because before that, when he wasn't saying anything, nobody knew who he was or even heard his name, despite the fact that he ended his fights with knockouts. At some point, probably they'll choose a strategy or a tactic to use my name to promote him and promote the fight in order to make money on that. It works pretty well because the people in America swallow that. So it's working pretty well. On my side, I like that too, because I'm in a very good situation, in a very good position. He has talked himself into so much that I know exactly how I'm going to hold that fight. And I want to highlight this part right here. This part I want to highlight. He said, I quote, "I'm going to hold him accountable in that fight for every word that has been said. Additionally, I don't need to do anything to promote that fight. I don't need to do anything at all. I can just be silent. And then we will go into the ring, and in the ring, each will do and show how much he is worth. each will do is show how much he is worth. So October 17th has came and it has went, and Teofimo Lopez is at the top of the hill with the crown. Teofimo Lopez is the one, you know, who is the man at 135. So look, I'm not gonna disrespect Lomachenko. I still think he's a great fighter. I still think he's gonna go accomplish some great things in his career. But he ain't never fucking with Teofimo Lopez. And I told you guys that when all these articles being written and all this was happening, I was telling you guys that back then, and I'll tell you that right now. They can do a rematch. If they can do a rematch, and it'll end even worse. It'll end even worse if they fight in a rematch. So, you know, he didn't. That's two empty promises. So he said he was gonna make him quit in the middle rounds. He failed on that. He failed on that count. He said he was gonna hold him accountable for every word he said. He failed on that account, and he said that each person will show how much they're worth. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and say Lomachenko's not worth anything, because that's stupid. That's what like an ignorant boxing fan would do. He's a great fighter, and I still think Lomachenko would beat Devin Haney. He would beat the shit out of Devin Haney if they fought. Honestly. It's just that Teofimo Lopez is a combination of size, youth, speed, belief in himself, true belief in himself. I'm talking about true belief because, you know, we're going to get into Devin Haney later, but I'm talking about true belief in yourself. You know, the belief in yourself where you actually demonstrate it with your actions. You know, you go and you fight the guys to position yourself to get a Lomachenko fight. You don't sit there and go on social media. You don't sit there and get Twitter happy with your Twitter fingers. You go and you actually take the proper actions to get the fight. That's true belief in yourself, not like Devin Haney. No disrespect to Devin Haney, but Devin Haney, I don't think he really wanted to fight Lomachenko. He didn't. And you know what? I would still like to see Devin Haney fight Lomachenko, because guess what? He'd fight him. Lomachenko would 8-4 his ass, and it'd be great. You would see Teofimo Lopez would get so much respect for that victory if Lomachenko fought Haney and outbox him, because I think he would. Devin Haney's feet, you know, there's balance and all the way there. He can't quite pivot like a Lomachenko or a Lopez. So I see Lomachenko being able to be the matrix in that fight and step around him. But this ain't about Devin Haney. This is about Lomachenko, the aftermath of Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko, and all that good stuff. But shout out to everybody who's here, man. Shout out to everybody who's here. You know, this is the same Lomachenko that after Teofimo Lopez did what many people thought he couldn't do, and he beat Richard Comey. This is the same Lomachenko that said that the punch that he landed against Richard Comey was a lucky punch. He said it was a lucky punch, and it was everything but a lucky punch. It was everything but a lucky punch from Teofimo Lopez on Richard Comey. He folded him up like a blue steel chair in 12 rounds. And I told you guys, I said, look, after everything he went through in the Nakatani fight with his family personally, with the lackluster performance, he was going to come out better because of the Comey fight and how he won and become more confident. And he was. So I was put right on that count. And many of y'all are wrong. That wasn't a lucky punch. So he showed a consistency of overlooking Lopez, disrespecting Lopez. He showed a consistency of demeaning Lopez, not holding him to the same regard as other fighters that he wanted to fight. And that was one of the reasons I thought he'd lose his fight, because he wasn't taking him serious. And if there was ever a point in time when Lomachenko should have pivoted and said, you know what, I need to take this kid more seriously, it should have been that fight. It should have been that fight right there, because Comey was coming off of a win against a very tough Ray Beltran. He beat the shit out of Ray Beltran, stepping back and knocking him out. And Lopez made him look like a C class fighter, C class fighter. So that was another tell for me on why he wasn't going to win this fight. All right. Then at the same time that at that Lomachenko, that this fight was first being thrown out there for Lopez and Lomachenko to fight each other, at the same time Lopez was being named as a potential opponent, this is the same Lomachenko that while he was saying, oh, I'm going to hold him accountable, I'm going to do this, that, and the third, in the same breath that he's saying that, he's then saying that he would fight Gervonta Davis for free. And if your memory's bad, if your brain is scrambled, if you've got selective memory or amnesia, I'll refresh you on what he said about Gervonta Davis at the same time that Lopez was calling him out. All right, because that's all he could talk about. That's all he could talk about. He had a guy in Lopez who's in the same stable as him, the same promotional company as him, Top Rank Boxing, calling him out. Easy fight to make. He don't even want to acknowledge it, but he'll call a guy out in Gervonta Davis who still, even though I like him, and I'm going to be at his fight in 11 days. I'll be there in San Antonio. Okay. Even though I like him, and even though he's a fantastic fighter, he's in a witness protection program for boxing. Okay. He is. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Gervonta Davis has and he's been in, and is still in a witness protection program for boxing, fighting smaller guys coming up in weight to look good, to get sensational knockouts, to try to build up hype, to make him a pay-per-view star. But here's what he said about fighting Gervonta Davis, if your memory is bad. He said, I quote, "What I meant is that we can reach agreement, and it does not matter to me what the figure is going to be. I'm not going to bargain for a fight with him. If the moment is right and I am told, Vasyl, you can box Gervonta, but you'll get no money out of this fight, I'd say yes. I just wouldn't hesitate. I think whether I should do it since I won't get paid, I'm not going to think about it. I'll simply go out there and just box him. It doesn't matter to me right now with the guys who talk a lot, who try to blur other people's minds with their pretty and loud announcements. It insults me as a sportsman, so I would gladly accept and enter the ring with both Lopez and Davis. Look, Davis is a champion, and what's more, he is a champion in the weight class that is comfortable for me. It's the weight that I left because I couldn't unite the belts. As soon as I left, he opened his mouth. So the situation is as follows. I'll try to do what I want at 135, and then I want to go back to 130 and try to unify the belts there. And he is a top opponent, a great fighter with whom one can fulfill his potential and write one's name to the history of boxing, because today he is a world champion. Today he's a top fighter. So that's why I want to box him," end quote. So that was his quote. And he, and I knew, listen, I'm not stupid. In fact, I would say I'm a pretty smart guy, actually. I knew why he wanted to fight Davis. He wanted to fight Davis because he didn't want to be at 135, which is another reason why I thought he wouldn't beat Lopez, because, he didn't want to be there much longer. He didn't want to be there. He was dying to go down 130. So it is what it is there. He wanted to fight Tank. He was calling up a guy in witness protection, while there was a guy in his stable that he didn't want to acknowledge, that he didn't even want to say was any good, even after he got knocked out Comey. So, make it that what you will. And then the most damning thing, and I just found this out today. I didn't even realize this back until today, because I saw somebody on Facebook post this, and then I had to look it up for myself. Apparently, Lomachenko didn't even put a rematch clause in for this fight. There was no rematch clause in the contract for this fight, and the main reason it didn't happen was because of Lomachenko himself. Sarah Shepard, who writes for The Athletic, shout out to her, a good writer. She writes for The Athletic. She reported just yesterday morning. She reported that that she asked Bob Arum why there was no rematch clause in the contract for this fight between Lomachenko and Lopez, and he said, I quote, that he doesn't believe in rematches. He doesn't believe in rematch clauses. So and Arum said, I quote, he's Lomachenko. He doesn't think that way. So what that leads me to believe is that he was so confident, maybe a little overconfident. In fact, very overconfident. If you want to use what he was saying in the past, he was very overconfident, and he set himself up for failure. Lomachenko set himself up for failure in this fight because he didn't respect his opponent. He didn't think that Teofimo had the tools to box with him, and it was a big mistake by Lomachenko and the rest of the boxing world, because I'm going to say it again. Teofimo Lopez, and in case you don't know, I'm going to drop some knowledge on you. For those of you who know about Lopez's amateur career, you know about the story. But if you don't, let me drop some knowledge on you. Okay, Teofimo Lopez, when he was an amateur, he was a fantastic amateur. In fact, when I started boxing many years ago, I had a sparring partner named Gabriel Chacon, who's now a professional, and he fought Lopez in the amateurs, and he lost to him. So I have that little connection to Lopez. But Lopez was a fantastic amateur. He was so fantastic that he won the USA Olympic boxing trials. He was supposed to represent Team USA, but unfortunately for him, he was the victim of bad politics. It was the first time in the history of USA boxing, before or after, that the USA boxing committee in AIBA, the AIBA, had come together and had already pre-picked who would be representing Team USA in Lopez's weight class, and that guy was Carlos Balderas. So then Lopez had to go box for Honduras. He decided he was still going to be Olympian, and he boxed for his his father's home country, Honduras. So I say that to say that you don't win the USA Olympic boxing trials by being a bum. You don't win the USA Olympic boxing trials by being a guy at that weight that's not technically sound, that doesn't know what he's doing. So I think Lomachenko should have did his homework. I think people should have did their homework, and they would have been better off for it. But unfortunately, they didn't. Unfortunately, they went against the untouchable True School Sports Empire, and they found out what happens. So that's what it is there. Now, on a more positive note, we're not just going to use this live to shit on Lomachenko. I still think he's a great fighter. I still think there's some great fights out there for him. The last thing I'm going to say that's kind of negative about him before we head into the positive is that He got exactly what he deserved in this fight for ducking Manny Pacquiao. I said it. He got exactly what he deserved in this fight for ducking Manny Pacquiao. And I'm not gonna. And if I have to explain to you how he ducked Manny Pacquiao, then you just aren't up in your boxing. You don't know what you're talking about. And I'm not gonna explain that to you. But he got what he deserved. All right, hold on. Before I get into the positives, let me check the comments because I know I got quite a few comments. Shout out to everybody here. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure. Jersey Engineer says, you are so biased on this channel. Loma won this fight. Showbiz the adult said so. Carver said draw at best or Loma might win a round. Well, Timothy Bradley said that Teofimo won. So yeah. Did I score the fight? Yeah, I scored at 116 to 112. Lomachenko won as many rounds in this fight as Nakatani did against Lopez. In fact, I don't even think it's unfair to say. I don't even think it's unfair to say that Nakatani did as good. He did as good in this fight with Lomachenko, or as good in this fight with Lopez as Lomachenko did against Lopez. They won the same amount of rounds on my card. Straight up, man. I mean, like I don't know why everybody can't get it through their heads that he lost this fight. I get it. He's a good technical boxer, but come on, man. Come on. We gotta do better. We gotta humble ourselves. I don't think it took him seriously. I don't. I mean, maybe he did. I mean, honestly, I don't think it matters if we took him seriously or not. Lopez is just better. Lopez is better everywhere around the board. He's better at puncher than Vasyl Lomachenko. He's got better footwork. He's got better footwork than Lomachenko. And yeah, damn right I said it. He got better footwork than Lomachenko because if Lomachenko's footwork was so great, you know, where was it in this fight? How come when he tried to sidestep Teofimo, he couldn't get around the side of Teofimo Lopez like he does everybody else? It's because Teofimo Lopez understood what he had to do against Lomachenko. He understood. He knew he had to pivot with him. He pivoted with him, and anytime Lomachenko pivoted and he didn't pivot with him, he shot a right hand. He shot an uppercut, and you know, it is what it is there. But I'm not gonna use this live to shit on Lomachenko anymore. We've done that for 25 minutes now. Shout out to Red Glove Militant. Shout out to Kina KTV, Anthony Santos, everybody here. I appreciate everybody who's in the live. Make sure you smash that like button and all that good stuff. I want to talk about now. What I really want to talk about is just where does Lomachenko go from here? What can he do next in his career? Because I think that's the best thing we can talk about when it comes to Teofimo Lopez. Now, I think this loss for Lomachenko can be a big blessing in disguise. It can be the greatest thing that's ever happened to his boxing career. Because of the fact that now he doesn't got to stay at 135 any longer. He doesn't got to fight these big guys any longer. And he can go back down to 130, which is what he's been wanting to do for the longest time anyway. Because he was talking about it even in early 2019. So I think it's a blessing in disguise for Lomachenko. I think it's a great thing for his career. And the best thing about it is it's going to allow him to extend his career. The longer he fights at 135, the worse it would get for his career because he's fighting bigger guys. They punch harder. He's got to be more vulnerable in that ring just to win because he doesn't got the reach to box with these guys from the outside. So he's got to get a little bit closer. He's got to trade more. He's got to really throw punches, grown man punches to hurt these guys. And at 130, the guys are more closer to his size. He can sidestep them. He can do the whole matrix thing, and it's much more advantageous and better for him. So, 130 going back to 130 is great for him because it allows him to extend his career. It allows him to continue boxing at the highest levels. And make no mistakes about it. Lomachenko at 135, he's a vulnerable fighter. He's still a damn good fighter. He'll beat most on the night. I still think Lomachenko would beat Devin Haney easily if they fought. And he won 8 rounds. But I think for him, 130, he's damn near unbeatable. He's damn near unbeatable. And there's some good fights there for him that are easy to make. 130. When we talk about 130 in the top rank stable, there's so many easy fights for him to be made for Lomachenko. You got guys like Miguel Berchelt. I mean, wouldn't that be an exciting fight? Miguel Berchelt, one of the best offensive fighters in boxing, versus Vasyl Lomachenko, one of the best technically sound fighters in the world with some of the best footwork you ever see in your life. That'd be a great fight. You got Jamel Herring, you got Carl Frampton, you got Oscar Valdez. That'd be another good fight. Shakur Stevenson, that'd be another good fight. There's matchups to be made there for Lomachenko at 130, and it's a weight that's much better for him. It's much more advantageous for him. So I like the fact that he lost this fight, not just because I was rooting for Lopez, but because I think we now get a chance to see the best Lomachenko that there is at his optimum weight, at his best weight. You see what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And probably the best thing about him losing to Lopez is the simple fact that this now opens the door for a potential super fight. Yes, a potential super fight. With whom, you may ask? With the monster. With the monster Inoue, because Naoya, the monster Inoue, he's fighting Jason Maloney in 12 days on Halloween. And if he can get past that, who's to say in the future, in late 2021 or whenever, who's to say that Top Rank, Bob Arum, and all parties involved don't make a super fight between those two happen? Could you imagine that, Inoue versus Lomachenko? Maybe at a catch weight, because Lomachenko's best weight is 130, so maybe he can maybe they can meet at 127, 128, do a catch weight. That'll be a fight to watch, Inoue versus Lomachenko. Two of the best little men, quote unquote, of our era. You got Inoue, who's been scaling these weight classes, and their careers are kind of similar in a way, because Lomachenko, he became world champion in multiple weight classes, and I think it was 4 or 5 fights, and might have been 6. Inoue did it in about almost the same amount of time. They both are similar in terms of the amount of time that they got titles in multiple weight classes. They both have been scaling weight classes, looking sensational. And I did do a video last year when I was really mad at Lomachenko. I did do a video about how I thought Inoue was better than Lomachenko. So this would be a chance for the monster to prove me correct. So I would love that fight. I would love to see 2 of the best little men of our era go at it. You have Lomachenko and his amazing footwork and the technical abilities that he comes to the ring against the boxer, puncher, destructive style of Inoue, to where he can show, Inoue has shown us many times, he can knock you down going backwards, he can knock you down going forwards, he can outbox you. He's shown us so much in his short time in boxing. He's had to go to some deep, dark, uncomfortable places to win big fights like he did against Donaire last year. So I would love to see that, and I want to know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Inoue versus Lomachenko? That's a hell of a fight, and I think that's a fight that Top Rank is going to look into. That's a fight that Top Rank is going to definitely explore, because it's worth exploring. You got the biggest name in Ukrainian boxing and the biggest name in Japanese boxing fighting each other. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't. So I would love to see that. I would love to see Inoue versus Lomachenko to do the thing. And as for, and I'm gonna talk about Devin Haney now, because Devin Haney, right? Ever since Lomachenko won this fight, you got the Devin Haney cult here on YouTube, and there's so many channels here on YouTube that are big fans of Devin Haney. It's almost like a damn cult at this point. And listen, I have nothing against Devin Haney personally. In fact, I've probably been following Devin Haney longer than most people that are boxing fans. I've been following Devin Haney since like middle of 2014. Damn near 6 years we're talking about. I've been following Devin Haney. So I like him. I had a chance to meet him this year. I interviewed him. Very nice kid. Got a great head on the shoulders. Got a good father in Bill. So this is no knock on Bill or Devin. This is just boxing talk. If we're keeping it real, Devin Haney, his record is extremely padded. He went to Mexico. He turned pro early. He found a loophole in the system. So credit to him. But you can't even listen. If we're talking about who's the man at 135, I don't even want to hear about Devin Haney. This guy didn't win his title in the ring. The WBC gave it to him. All right. And as far as I'm concerned, look, Teofimo Lopez and his father have both been consistent dating back all the way to last year. You can pull this up. There's articles. There's factual articles. You can pull this up from last year where Teofimo Lopez and his dad were both saying that after the Lomachenko fight, they are moving up to 140, because it's a known fact that Teofimo Lopez has been killing himself to make 135. He doesn't want to be at 135 much longer, and I don't blame him, because you can tell he's huge at the weight. In that fight against Lomachenko, right? Lomachenko hit him with some good shots in the second half of that fight, and he was getting hurt by those shots a little bit. And I think the reason that he was getting a bit buzzed and a bit hurt by those shots wasn't because of the punches or because Lomachenko's a huge puncher. I think it's because he's weight trained, and when you're weight trained, your punch resistance isn't as good. So he beat Lomachenko. He's the man at 135. If he decides he wants to fight Devin Haney at 140, he's allowed to dictate those terms because he put himself in that position. So I'm all for it. Personally, I think the fight would be better for both of them at 140. Because I think Teofimo will be better at 140, and I think Haney will be better at 140. So make the fight happen at 140. But at 135, if Teofimo says that he doesn't want to fight at 135 and they want to go to 40, then that's their prerogative. They put themselves in the positions to say yes or no. But either way, I want to see the fight. Ask for who I think will win the fight. Easy money, Teofimo Lopez. Easy money. Devin Haney he's got a lot of potential. And right now, like if we're just keeping it all the way a buck, that's all he's living off of right now. Devin Haney hasn't done anything in the actual boxing ring under the lights in a big fight to show the boxing world that that he's the creme de la creme. He has that potential to be creme de la creme, one of the best fighters in the division, but he hasn't actually shown us that. All he's living off of right now is potential. All he's living off of right now is the WBC gifting him a title because they made Loma the franchise belt, and all he's living off of is sparring sessions. That's it. He hasn't fought any top level opposition, and I don't want to hear any of the Haney fans say, "Oh well, they didn't want to fight him. Everyone's ducking him." Bullshit. There's plenty of guys at 135 that would like to fight Devin Haney. It's just that the guys that he wanted to fight aren't fighting him. But if he wanted to prove something, he could have chased Richard Comey. He could have fought a Verdejo. He could have fought maybe a Michelle Rivera, who I interviewed, who was calling him out. He could have fought. Ryan Garcia, they could have made a super fight happen. There's fight for it too. There's fights out there for him. There's all he could fight the winner of Lee Selby, George Kambosos. There's so many options out there for Devin Haney, but people want to just get fixated on the one or two guys that didn't fight him because they decided to make a bigger fight with each other. So, I ain't really going with the Devin Haney is being ducked narrative because he hasn't fought anyone. And look who he's fighting now. In Gamboa. No disrespect to Gamboa. I like Gamboa. I'm a fan of Gamboa. I respect Gamboa. But if we're being honest here, Gamboa is a shot fighter now, and he's been a shot fighter for almost half a decade. He was a shot fighter 3 years ago when he lost to Castellanos. When he fought Robinson Castellanos 3 years ago, he was a shot fighter, and he's a shot fighter now. Haney's not even fighting the Gamboa. He's fighting the corpse of Gamboa. He's fighting the corpse of Gamboa. This is a guy that honestly, in my humble opinion, look. Gamboa has been shot for almost half a decade. Haney is a young, strong, creme de la creme fighter. Why is he fighting Gamboa? You mean to tell me he couldn't find anybody else on planet Earth that was better than Gamboa at this point? I'm not buying that. And I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that the Florida State Commission, Matchroom Boxing, and all parties involved, I don't think they should sanction this fight. I think Gamboa's health is in great danger. I think Gamboa is going to get his brain scrambled horribly in this fight, and I'm putting that out there immediately. I'm putting that out there before the fight even happens. I think Gamboa is going to get severely hurt. And I don't like the fact that Devin Haney he's taking this fight. The only reason he's taking this fight is not because Gamboa is still a name, and it's not because Gamboa is still a top fighter in the division. It's because Gamboa's last fight was against Tank Davis, and Tank Davis went 11 rounds, 12 rounds, whatever it was. And if Haney stops him before the 11th or 12th, Haney can then stick his chest out and say, "Look what I did to him." But really, I can't really give Gamboa. I didn't give Gamboa a whole lot of credit for that win because number one, he didn't even look good. And number two, Gamboa was shot 3 years ago against Robinson Castellanos. So I'm keeping that same energy for Devin Haney. He ain't getting no credit for a great performance against Gamboa. It's a lose-lose fight for him because if he wins, he beat the corpse of Gamboa, and if he looks bad, you let a guy that's been shot for damn near half a decade look good against you, and that would lead me to believe that you aren't as good as advertised. So as far as Teofimo Lopez and what he should do next, I would love to see him fight Devin Haney, but he's earned the right to pick where the hell he wants to fight him at. If it's at 135, great, because he's the undisputed 135-pound champion, and if it's at 140 and he feels more comfortable at 40, then make it at 140. Haney. If Lopez tells Haney, "I want the fight at 140," Haney should have any problems with it because if Haney will be bigger, he'll be stronger, and he should believe that he's a better boxer than Lopez. But I'll let you guys in on a little secret. He's not the better boxer than Lopez. And I'm talking about technically, he's not. He's not. I can break it down for you guys if you want, but yeah. Let me see. I got 67 comments. I haven't even checked the comments. Let me see if there's any interesting comments here. Let me see. We got a lot of comments here. We got quite a lot of comments here. Hold on. Let's see. Shout out to everyone here, by the way. I really appreciate everybody here because I see a whole fuck ton of comments. Oh, hold on. I got to highlight this one. Shout out to my man, Johnny. Hold on. Let me write my damn mouse down. Shout out to my man, Johnny. He left a great comment that I want to highlight. Where is it at? Shout out to my man, Johnny Cortijo, one of my best friends in boxing, one of the most knowledgeable boxing minds in the world, one of the best people you ever meet in your life. Shout out to Johnny. He says, when Cholatito loses 2 times to one fighter where he was robbed, they say Cholatito's overrated. But when Lomachenko loses to Teofimo Lopez and Salido with 10 losses, they say you got to give it up to Loma. You know what? Hey, Johnny, you're right, man. You're right, Johnny. They got to keep that same energy. Because I remember so clearly when my boy Roma Gonzalez, and shout out to Roma Gonzalez, he's fighting this weekend against Israel Gonzalez. I'll be live for that fight. That's going to be a tough fight. We'll preview that later on in the week. But Roma Gonzalez fought better. He fought better and better opposition than Lopez, Lomachenko, and Lomachenko put together. He fought better opposition than both of them put together. Fighting top fighter back to back to back. From the minute he arrived in the States to the Vasyl fight, he was fighting top fighter, top champion, top contender, back to back to back. There were no tune-up fights when Cholatito made its HBO debut. And, he beat Vasyl. It was clear. He beat him clearly. There was the knockdown early on in the fight, but if you guys remember, the referee deducted a point from Vasyl because of the I think it was the head clash. So at that point, the fight just became about who won more rounds, and he won more rounds. And they robbed Roma Gonzalez. But then when he got knocked out, they said he was overrated. But now the same people that said that Roma Gonzalez is overrated are saying that Lomachenko, they got to give it up to him. He's a true champion. But I didn't hear a lot of people saying that Roma Gonzalez was a true champion when he lost. They said he was a high job. And if you want to keep it 100, Roma Gonzalez in his prime and as far as his career overall is way better than Lomachenko. Top to bottom, way better than Lomachenko. Scaled 4 weight classes, not 3, 4 weight classes. Beat better opposition. Gaia Estrada is better than anybody Lomachenko beat. Anybody he beat, he's better than Gary Russell. He's better than Nicholas Walters or whoever the hell else you guys want to name. Better than him. And you know what? Like I made a post on Facebook this week. Because I was watching some Lomachenko fights. Me and Johnny were watching some Lomachenko fights, and we both came to the conclusion that Lomachenko has great footwork, but his footwork is very overrated. It's overrated, and I believe that Roma Gonzalez has better footwork than Lomachenko. So I posted it on Facebook the day before the Lopez fight, and people laughed at me. They said, "Oh, well, how could Cholatito have better footwork than Lomachenko?" Well, Cholatito, he's had damn near 50 plus fights, and I've never seen Roma Gonzalez get outboxed 7 straight rounds. Never in my life, like Lomachenko did. Say what you want to Roma Gonzalez. You can say, oh, you don't think he has great head movement, which is not even true. You can say all these things, but he never. Roma Gonzalez, I challenge any one of you 75 people in here, if you know your boxing, go watch as many fights as possible and point to me any point in his career where Roma Gonzalez got outboxed 7 straight rounds. You can't do it. And he lost to Vasyl, and Vasyl is a damn good fighter. One of these, Vasyl is a much more dangerous fighter in terms of punching power, in terms of the ruggedness and the physicality he brings to the ring than Orlando Salido. No doubt about it. So for those of you who said Roma Gonzalez is overrated, but then you want to power up Lomachenko and not keep that same energy, suck on that. But it's your boy BT. It's the untouchable True School Sports Empire. I appreciate everyone. Let me see. My man Cesar Vasquez says, I should read all the comments. He said, read all the comments. Like, fair game. All in this chat deserves some treatment. Hey, I got a lot of comments, man. It's not easy, but you know what? I'll read some comments. So I'm going to spend the next couple minutes just reading some comments responding. So let me see. Let me go up because I know I missed quite a few comments. Shout out to my man. Agency is stored in the balls. That's a great name, champ. He says LDBC says Gamboa is a real test. I mean, listen, I don't want to talk too much about those clowns over there, but he's fighting the corpse of Gamboa. I'll leave it at that. Stevenson versus Loma. That'd be an exceptional fight. That would be a true test for Vasyl Lomachenko and Stevenson. Yeah, I love that fight. You know, those two guys know each other very well. Those two guys, those are two fighters that done a lot of rounds in sparring. So yeah, I say make it happen. My man Felipe, shout out to Felipe out there in Dallas, Texas. You know, one of Houston's very own Felipe. He says, "What's up, BT? How you living, champ? You good?" My man Paradox KOE, shout out to him. He says 7-5 for either Loma or Lopez would have been more respectable. I mean, look, I don't think 7-5 for Loma is a crazy scorecard. I just personally I can't see it. I haven't watched the fight yet again, but I think that I can't see that. You know, I really can't see it. I had a 116, 112, 7 rounds to 5 for what you call it, Teofimo Lopez. Shout out to my man Felipe with the $4.99 super chat. He said, "What's up, BT? What's up, champ? What's up?" Hey, Felipe, I want to let you know in advance. I'm gonna let you know in advance, Felipe. Gervonta Davis is gonna fold up Leo Santa Cruz like a blue steel chair. You heard it here first, Felipe. Sebastian, hey, everybody in the chat. I want everybody to say what's up to Sebastian, the technician Santana. He's a very hardworking, very good young amateur here in the South Florida area. He trains out there in Hollywood, Florida, at Flacco's boxing gym. He's a great kid. So look out for him. He says, "Keep preaching. Show them what boxing's all about." That's what we're doing, champ. That's exactly what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. You know, shout out to Sebastian. You know, we got Lance Meyer says, "Are you going to be live in a fortnight?" I'm not sure exactly what fortnight means. I know the game Fortnite, but I don't know what the term fortnight means. But I'll be live for Romo Gonzalez versus Israel Gonzalez. That whole card, that whole Mexico, the whole Mexico card with Cuadras and Estrada rematch and Cholatito versus Israel Gonzalez and Julio Cesar Martinez. I'll be live for that whole card. That's probably one of the most exciting cards of the year for me, and we'll definitely be talking about that as it gets closer. Felipe says Devin Haney is better. Absolutely not, Felipe. That is not true. That is absolutely not true. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? Let me go down to some more comments. I appreciate everyone here, man. I mean, I can't believe we got 75 people here right now. Martin Kearney says, "Hey, BT, what's up, dude? What's up, Mark? How you living, champ?" Michael Pope, see, you know, I know not everybody agrees with me, but man, Michael Pope knows what he's talking about. Cholatito was the best pound for pound when he was in his prime. Once Mayweather left the sport, once Mayweather left the sport, he was easily the best pound for pound fighter in boxing. It wasn't even a contest. And the only people who disagree with that just haven't watched enough of his career to have a true interpretation or an opinion. You know what I'm saying? What do you think about Chavez Jr. versus Triple G, Cesar Vasquez? I don't think Chavez Jr. should fight anybody. I don't think he should fight anybody with a name for a while. I mean, this guy went in there against the guy that lost. I can't even remember his name. The guy that lost to Canelo in the amateurs. And you know, this is the guy that has a reputation that when the going gets tough, he folds up like a blue steel chair. He quits. So I was thinking, you know, this guy Chavez Jr. He got a new trainer. He got this guy named Quis Guevara, something like that. Flaming Hot Mitts, I think is his name on Instagram. He got a new trainer. And what did he do? What did Chavez do? He folded up. He curled up into a ball. He put his blankie on, and he said, "I can't fight no more." So I think Chavez needs to really consider if he wants to keep boxing at the top level or trying to pursue boxing at the top level, because it just seems that he doesn't have. I don't want to like disrespect the guy, but it doesn't seem to me like he has the heart to do it. But I'm not saying he's not a bad fighter at all. He's got talent, but he just he folds up when the going gets tough. Kevin from Chicago, did you see the scorecards? Lomachenko didn't stand a chance. It was like GGG versus Canelo, and it was just like Kovalev versus no, absolutely not. I understand what you're getting at. You're basically saying that Lomachenko, because of the fact that one judge already had it, you know, scored 119, 109 before the fight started, that the odds were against him. But this is not anything close to what Kovalev and Ward was like. Sergey Kovalev easily beat Andre Ward. He won the first 5 rounds clearly, and he had a knockdown. So we're talking about him already being 6 points up before the 6th round even starts. And then while Ward did pick it up, and while Ward, owned the back half of the fight, he still lost the 7th round, he lost the 8th round, and he lost the 11th round of that fight. They pretty much split the back half of the fight. And the problem with boxing is, and this is where the subjectivity and how boxing being subjective is not a good thing sometimes. He was getting his ass whipped the first 5 rounds. He was getting taken to school the first 5 rounds. And the back half of the fight, they split the last 6 rounds. It was 3-3 apiece from round 6 to round 12. It was Kovalev won 3 rounds and Wood won 3 rounds, and that's a lot better than losing 5 straight rounds. So what winds up happening is when a fighter isn't getting his ass beat as badly as they did early in the fight, people start giving him credit just for doing better than they did early in the fight, and that's not how you score fights. So no, this was not like Kovalev and Wood, in my opinion. I respect your opinion, Kevin, but I'm gonna humbly disagree with you. My man Tumusio Marabane says Lomachenko was babied. I mean, I wouldn't say he was babied. He fought Gary Russell Jr. in his 3rd professional fight. He fought Salido's 2nd professional fight. He's got a great resume. I'm not gonna sit here and shit on Lomachenko's resume, but I do think he was a bit tad bit overrated. He says, you guys think it's just a coincidence when guys like Fury, Postal, GG Kovalev never get favorable scorecards when fighting in America? I mean, no, that's not a coincidence. But honestly, if we're keeping it, they already know. Listen, they're not stupid. They know better than me and you what the deal is when they fight in America. So, that's why you gotta take you can't come to, if you're an Eastern European fighter, you can't come to America and go in there and play pity pat boxing. You either gotta go in there to dominate via decision or stop these guys. You gotta take the same approach Tyson Fury took when he fought Wilder in the 2nd fight. And I'm gonna agree. Shout out to my man Fight News. We need open scoring in boxing. We absolutely, positively, without a shadow of a doubt, need some open scoring in boxing. It would really clear up a lot of confusion. I think three things would clear up the scoring in boxing. Number 1, open scoring. Number 2, aside from open scoring, make odd number rounds. So rounds right now are 12 rounds. Back in the day, it was 15. 15 is an odd number. So if the rounds are odd, it's going to be damn near impossible for a judge to have even numbers for both fighters. So if you can make the rounds 30. I feel like boxing should make a 13th round or make it 11 rounds or go back to 15 or something like that. Make it an odd number so that way judges can actually score the fights and not have the same rounds for each fighter. So open scoring, odd number rounds, and I think that every judge should be have their eyes checked every single year. If every judge gets their eyes checked every single year, that'd be great. And maybe getting some younger judges. Like I feel like boxing should get some younger judges because listen, normally when you get older, I'm only 25, so I don't know. I don't have great eyesight, but it would be great. It would be great if they boxing had more younger judges, because the problem with boxing is there's not enough judges. You get judges that have been around for years. They're part of the establishment. Like Julie Letterman, she says this is not the first time Julie Letterman's turned in a horrible scorecard. She's turned in her fair share of terrible scorecards. But she's an establishment judge. Steve Weisfeld, Dave Moretti. These are people that have been around the boxing establishment for years. So I don't know them personally. I'd love to meet them one day and maybe interview them. But these are people that, because they've been around boxing so long, you'd be led to believe that it might be a bit easier for them to be enticed. One SSS, shout out to him. He says, BT says, I petition we make Andre Ward a judge. Absolutely not. He scored this fight a draw. I can't see it. I don't know, man. They need to get him a better seat, or he might need these. He might need them BT glasses. Know what I'm saying? But shout out to everybody here. Smash that like button. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know what city, what state, what continent, all that good stuff. I like seeing where everybody's at. Let's talk about some. I'm here. I've been on here for like an hour so far. So anything you guys want to talk about? Anything you guys want to talk about? Just drop it in the comments. But yeah, Lomachenko lost his fight. He lost his fight, man. There's no doubt about it. And listen, if you're one of the people out here that was saying that he's the most skilled fighter you ever seen and he's better than prime Roman Chocolatito Gonzalez, you know, we're not hearing that. We're not hearing that. Felipe Garcia says, if Santa Cruz gets killed, I will give you a signed Tank Davis glove to give away on your channel. You know what? I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet, Felipe. You know, I'll take that bet. Maybe if I lose, I mean, if Santa Cruz wins, we got to figure out what I'll do. I'm not sure what I'll do, but, you know, we'll do that. So you heard it here. You guys heard it from Felipe. If Santa Cruz gets knocked out, which he will, I'll give you a signed Tank Davis glove to give away on your channel. So y'all get ready. We're gonna have that raffle coming up real soon, real soon. You know what I'm saying? You know what? Let's talk about it. I'm gonna tell you guys why I think Tank is gonna whoop Leo Santa Cruz. So let's just start. Let's start it off like this. Okay, Leo Santa Cruz is not a natural 130-pound fighter. He isn't. This is a guy that they're bringing up. Leonard Ellerby and Mayweather Promotions and Al Heyman, they're picking him for a reason. This ain't by chance. This ain't by accident. They are picking this man for a reason. So he's not a natural 130-pounder. That's strike one against Leo. Okay. Strike two is that Leo likes to sit there and trade. He throws a lot of punches. He has the quote unquote Mexican style where it's higher work rate, a lot of punches, high volume, and that's gonna play into what Tank wants to do. So that's strike two against Leo Santa Cruz. Right, and then strike three, and the most damning strike of them all is that Leo Santa Cruz ain't gonna be fighting when he gets in that ring on October 31st on Halloween. He's not gonna be fighting Gervonta Davis. He ain't gonna be fighting Tank. He's gonna be fighting the one. That's right, the one. And if you guys don't know who the one is, let me explain this to you guys again if you haven't seen that video. Gervonta Davis calls himself the one, right? And the one is basically who Tank Davis is when he's at his best. So, like, for example, Gervonta Davis, you know, he's the guy who fought Fonseca and lost title on the scale. He's the guy that fought injured Gamboa with one leg and couldn't get him out and didn't look that good. You know, he's the guy that has just been a big disappointment. But the one is the guy that fought Jose Pedraza. The one is the guy that fought Liam Walsh. The one is the guy that fought Cuellar. You know, ain't nobody fucking with the one. The only problem is with Gervonta Davis is that he's very seldomly the one. He's normally Tank. So that's the problem with him. You know, he's not consistent in the gym. But I want to point something out to you guys, and my boy Johnny pointed this out to me, and I agree with him. Gervonta Davis is a guy that when he's training in Baltimore, for whatever reason, like I've noticed that when Johnny pointed this out to me, when he's training in Baltimore, you know, he's not quite his best self. But when he trains in Vegas, when he trains with Floyd, he's the one. And for this fight, he's back in Vegas. He's back training with Floyd, and he's the one. So that means so recap. Leo is not a 130-pounder. Leo has a come forward style, and he's fighting the one. And that's it. 3 strikes and you're out of there. You're out of there. Just like the Atlanta Braves got eliminated yesterday in the playoffs. You're out of there. So I don't see it, man. But I think it's gonna be a great fight. Leo's gonna come forward. He's gonna definitely go out there and give it his best shot, because I think for him, you know, first of all, he's never fought anybody as good as Tank Davis, and it's a legacy fight for him. If he wins this fight, to me, this takes Leo Santa Cruz to a whole nother level for me, in my eyes, and I think it does for a lot of other people. You know what I'm saying? But we got shout out to my man Haney's the next Shane Mosley. Man, he's right up the road. He's over there in Coral Gables, Florida. So shout out to Haney's the next Mosley over there in Coral Gables, Florida. I'm over here in North Miami. Fernando Mesa, G-Town, Colorado. What's up, champ? How you living? You good? Hope everything's good over there in the Rocky Mountains and whatnot. Michael Pope's in Louisville, Kentucky. You know what I'm saying? Haney the next Mosley. He said that Lomachenko was using Andre Ward tactics. You know what? That hasn't been stated enough. That hasn't been stated enough. That you know, because like listen, and that's what I find impressive. Teofimo Lopez was over there. He was outboxing him. He was pivoting with him. He was outthinking him. He put the Matrix in the Matrix. You know, he put Keanu. He took this Keanu Reeves of boxing, and he gave him the red pill. He gave him the blue pill. And once Lomachenko couldn't figure out that the takeover was here, and that he put the Matrix in the Matrix, he decided to dig deep and channel his inner Andre Ward. He tapped into the spirits of Andre Ward from the Mikhail Kessler fight, and he started headbutting the shit out of Lopez. But credit to Teo, he bit down. He went to some deep dark in a couple of places, and he did what he had to do. Mike Plania, or oh man, I can't even say her name, but he says, does Mike Plania and Teofimo have similar styles? The only thing I would say is similar about those two, in my opinion, is the way they throw the hook. They both throw really quick hooks, but no, I think Teofimo Lopez, he's more agile and pivots better than a guy like Plania. Plania is good though. I like Plania. I've seen Plania fight a bunch of times. He's fought a couple of times down here in South Florida, so I'm happy for him. I'm happy he beat Greer. It was a good win for him. Antonio Gutierrez says Yakima, Washington State here. Okay, shout out to Washington State. I've never been up there. I've never been to the Pacific Northwest, but shout out to you. He says, pound for pound rankings, where do you put Teofimo Lopez? Now, that's a good question, and I haven't really thought too deeply about it. But I would definitely say, off rip, with that win, he's got to be top 5 pound for pound. Because, like, for me, the undeniable 5 pound for pound for me, like the guys that are in the top 5 pound for pound, would be like I would have, and this is in no order, so don't sit here and start crucifying me. But I would have Crawford in my top 5 pound for pound. I would have Inoue in my top 5 pound for pound. I would have Canelo in my top 5 pound for pound, and then I would have Josh Taylor. But after that, Teofimo is going to be in there, somewhere. He might be somewhere he might be somewhere around like 4 or 5. I'd have Teofimo 4 or 5, because you're talking about now he's got Comey on his resume, 2 rounds, outboxing Lomachenko. That's a huge win for him. And then like even the wins that he got on the way up, Tatley was a good win. Nakatani was a good win, even though it was not the best performance. Magdaleno was a decent win. He's got good wins on his resume. No, but shout out to everyone here. Speaking of Berlanga, yeah, a lot of you guys want me to talk about Edgar Berlanga. So let's talk about Edgar Berlanga. I got a video dropping later on tonight about him, so be on the lookout for that. But we'll talk about him right now while we're just here talking about whatever. Edgar Berlanga, as far as I'm concerned, and I want you guys to understand something. I'm not saying that he's as good as this fighter, but I'm saying that he kind of. I mean, I don't know what it was like. I don't know what it was like to watch this fighter when they were in the prime, because I'm too young to remember. But Edgar Berlanga is the Puerto Rican Mike Tyson, man. He's a Puerto Rican Mike Tyson, because every time he fights, I'm not old enough to remember what it was like seeing Tyson fight in his prime, but I assume that it had to have been a bit similar to what Berlanga's doing right now, because you can't go on your phone, you can't look away from the TV, you can't go to the bathroom, you can't go get a snack, because if you do that, you might miss the whole fight. 15 straight knockouts all in the first round to start your career off. I mean, Tyson didn't even do that. I was checking it last night. Tyson got 2 first-round knockouts to start off his career. His third fight, he stopped the guy in like the 4th round. So Tyson wasn't even doing that. I'm not even sure Wilder was doing that. What he's doing right now is special, and it's the way he's going about his knockouts. He's not necessarily going in there and just bulldozing fighters. He's showing a lot of poise. He's showing a lot of composure. He's showing a lot of technical skills. A lot of just a lot of ability in the ring. Breaking these guys down, and even if you want to say he fights bums, because like he fought Lanel Kale Bellos, who was a veteran of over 25 fights, never been stopped before, got him out of there in a round. Before that, he fought what's his name? He fought Eric Moon, who I've seen fight before in Atlanta. Another guy who hadn't been stopped before, got him out there in the first round. So the question now becomes, who the hell can take Edgar Berlanga past the first round? And I was thinking about this last night, and I think there's about 3 or 4 realistic names that they can make for his next fight, that I think will be acceptable fights. So I would say John Ryder could be number 1. I think John Ryder would be a good fight for Berlanga. Ryder's obviously a respected fighter. He's been there with Callum Smith. I thought he beat Callum Smith. And if Berlanga could fold up John Ryder in a round, what a statement that would be. That would literally, like, I'm on the hype train. I'm buying into Edgar Berlanga. That would literally cement just everything about him to me if you got a guy like Ryder out of there in the first round. But you got John Ryder in the first round. You got John Ryder. I think he'd be good. Dave Lemieux, former IBF middleweight champion, big puncher. He's not a guy that Berlanga could necessarily, you can't give David Lemieux free shots to hit you, you know. And he's not a great technical boxer, but I think if they trade, it will reveal a lot to us about the durability of Berlanga and the chin of Berlanga. So I think Lemieux would be a good fight. Ryder would be a good fight. And the third, and then the two other fights I like to see for Berlanga, I would say Dennis Douglan, Mama's boy. You know, that'd be a good fight. Douglan's been in there with the top names in the ring. You know, at 168, he's fought George Groves, he's fought Benavidez, he's fought a lot of guys. You know, he's a strong, durable guy. Right now, he's very motivated. You know, there's this Instagram show on there's this like little Instagram series, this Instagram show that this boxer, you guys probably don't know who he is, but he's a friend of mine, a guy by the name of David Flat Sparks. Shout out to David Flat Sparks. It's a boxing show called All Call Outs is Mandatory. And basically on the show, David Flat Sparks, he basically gets fighters that he knows to, you know, go and talk their shit and call each other out. So like he had Dennis Douglan on there one day, and Dennis Douglan was talking about fighting Berlanga, and he didn't know who he was. And, you know, I think they were talking about fighting each other. So if that's a fight that they want to fight, I wouldn't mind that fight. Douglas would be a good shout. You know, he's definitely durable enough to take him past the first round. And then last but not least, I think another good fight for Berlanga to get some rounds, because at this point he just needs rounds. He needs a guy that's going to give him some quality in-ring experience. I think Mike Guy, if you guys don't know who Mike Guy is, Mike Guy beat Dennis Douglan. Mike Guy also beat Eric Moon. So Mike Guy is a strong, durable, sturdy 168-pounder. I think Mike Guy would be a good solid test for Berlanga. You know, shout out to Mike Guy. So John Ryder, Dennis Douglan, David Lemieux, and Mike Guy. Those are the four fights for Berlanga I like to see next that I think are actually realistic. Obviously, I want to see him fight Benavidez. Obviously, I want to see him fight Plant and all these big names, but that's not going to happen. So those guys are probably the most realistic for right now. My man Hyro, shout out to Hyro. Who's the best fighter at the moment, excluding Eastern Europe? Or the best European fighter, excluding Eastern Europe? Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor and Tyson Fury. In no order. I mean, I think Josh Taylor and Tyson Fury they got that on lock. I don't even think it's close. Easy pick for me. But yeah, shout out to my man Hyro. He says Loma wasn't the one in the Matrix. He is the agent. Javante is the one. You think he's the one, Hyro? He might be the one. You know, he might be. John Ryder's ranked too high to fight Berlanga. Well, last time I checked, they're actually pretty close in the rankings. Let me see. Let me check. Because I was checking the rankings last night, and I think it was WBO. Ryder was up there, and I remember Berlanga's name was really close to him. Let me see. WB, let's see where is he at? Ryder. Yeah, bro. John Ryder's ranked 7th in the WBA, and Berlanga's ranked number 11th. So they can make that fight. Easy fight to make. Ryder versus Berlanga. And my bad, guys, if I'm not getting into all the comments, I'm trying my best. There's a lot of comments, man. I'm not used to this many comments. You damn right, Johnny. I had to throw the Braves in there. You know, and I know not everybody here is a baseball fan, but I'm a huge Marlins fan, and they embarrassed my Marlins and swept them out of the playoffs. So fuck the Braves. I'm glad they lost. Fuck the Braves. Felipe says, remember Broner versus Maidana? It was in San Antonio too. I mean, okay, but what's the Santa Cruz ain't Maidana. He ain't punching like Maidana. Maidana got that thump, both hands. Mandaloso S says, as much as you hate Canelo, you can't deny he's top 5 pound for pound. No, I'm not gonna hate on him no more. It takes too much energy to hate on any fighter. I don't like the guy. I think he's corny. I think he's a clown, but he's top 5 pound for pound. I don't have number 1 though. I'm not putting him number 1. You can't do all the shady things he's done and have me put you number 1. No way. The True School Sports pound for pound list is a pound for pound list of integrity. Where do you rank Virgil Ortiz? As far as the welterweights go, I think right now he's definitely because he hasn't had the biggest fights yet. You can't put him like in the top 5 yet, but I would say he's like 9 or 10, something like that. But I think when it's all said and done, he's probably gonna be in that top 5 really, really soon. Where did Loma say he beat Lopez? BoxingScene.com. And the quote's been scrolling down there for the whole live. He said, "I want to go home and see what I can do better. I'm definitely not agreeing with the scorecards. I thought I won the fight." He said that. That is a fact. King Hassan says, if Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence gave Jaron Boots Ennis a shot, would Jaron Boots Ennis win? That is a hell of a question, and it's not a question I can really answer right now because Jaron Ennis has not fought anybody to test his chin yet. Now, as far as if we're talking about skills, Jaron Ennis has every skill available to a boxer under the sun. He can box orthodox. He can box southpaw. He can fight inside, outside, mid range. He can dig. He can go in the trenches. The only thing is we don't know if he had about his chin. His older brothers that were pros, they didn't have really good chins. And from what I've researched and from what I've watched in the amateurs, he got folded up a couple times in the amateurs. So if he fought Errol Spence, I give a very slight edge to Errol Spence. I'm gonna call that a 55-45 fight in favor of Spence. But at Crawford, he's not beating Crawford. Oh, here's a hell of a point. This is a great point from my man, Mr. Jody, 419. Shout out to him for adding value with a great comment. He says, Lomachenko would have been in trouble in the 10th, but the ref called a shot on the belt line low. He was definitely hurt. I agree. And, I was very pissed off when they called it because I didn't think at all that was a low blow. If my memory serves me correct, he hit him on the it was on the lettering, but I believe it was on the top of the lettering. It wasn't on the bottom. It was on the top of the lettering. And the thing is, if you go and look, right, Lopez is throwing the shot to where his body actually was. He actually dipped down and moved into the shot. So, I think Lomachenko actually got bailed out, in more ways than one in the back half of this fight. That was one scenario, and these damn Andre Ward tactics he used bailed him out of getting folded up. King Hassan says Benavidez outboxes Edgar Berlanga. We'll see, man. I want to see what he does. Berlanga does in a fight with a fighter who can give him some rounds. That's what we're gonna know about Berlanga for sure. Caleb Plant schools Berlanga. That'd be a hell of a fight. We'll see. I like Plant. Plant's a guy that is very confident. He's been confident for a long time. He's the creme de la creme when you talk about technical boxing and the best fighters in the world. But I don't think he'd school Berlanga, but I could see a decision. If he schooled Berlanga, what a statement that would be. What do you think of Lopez Mikey Garcia? I think that Mikey Garcia will never ever in his life even mention that fight. He will get massacred if they fight. Mikey Garcia is a talented fighter. Mikey Garcia is a really, just elite, skilled fighter. But unfortunately for him, to me, and Felipe, if you're here, you might be insulted about this. But to me, he's a James Harden of boxing. James Harden in basketball. James Harden is one of these guys that has all the talent in the world. James Harden can he walks out of bed, and he can get a triple double in his sleep. But when it comes to those big moments, when it comes to digging down deep and showing that heart to get your team over the hump, he just proven it too many times that he don't have it. Although I will say it wasn't James Harden's fault this year. It was actually the Rockets and how they make the team's fault as to why they didn't get past the Lakers. But it's the same thing about Mikey Garcia. We saw in the Slido fight when the going got tough, he quit. So I don't think that's a fight he would ever take. At this point, Mikey Garcia has reached that point to where he's a name, he's accomplished enough, and he's a businessman. He's not going to fight Lopez because it's not going to make him the most money. No. My man Robert Cahoon says we are still talking about this fight is over. We got a winner now. We need a rematch. No. We're not getting a rematch. No rematch because listen, Lopez wanted a rematch clause. If you go and you just do some research, Lopez was talking about this recently, and he wanted a rematch. He wanted a rematch clause, and it was actually Lomachenko and Egis Klimas that said no, we don't want a rematch clause. So he lost. It's off bigger and better things. Build your way back up, champ. I don't think he should get a rematch. Know what I'm saying? Who are your top 5 at light heavyweight? That's a great question. Number 1, it's gotta be Beterbiev. 2 is Bivol. Let me pull the heavyweight right now. I'm drawing a blank right now. But those are 1 and 2. Either way you slice it, those guys are 1 and 2. You know, I would have BWF 1. I would have Bivol 2, and then see after that you got I'm gonna go with Joe Smith at 3. I'll go with Jean Pascal at 4. Damn right, I said Jean Pascal. And then number five, who could be number 5? 5 could be anybody. I mean, you could throw Gilberto Ramirez in at 5. You could throw Kovalev at 5. You could throw anybody at 5. 5 is whatever. But those, I think those 4, no matter how you slice it, those are the 4. Beterbiev, Bivol, Pascal, and Gilberto Ramirez. Oh no, Beterbiev, Bivol, Pascal, and Joe Smith. Those are like the 4. 5 can be whoever. The untouchable pound for pound list. You damn right. I gotta really think about my my pound for pound list. I had to think this. I had to think that one out. Paradox KOE says, BT, are you and Pops returning to Dallas for the Spence Jr. versus Garcia fight? Let me see. I haven't checked the tickets for that fight. I want to go. I'm probably gonna go with my boy Felipe, who's in the chat right now. I don't know if Pops is gonna be able to go because I just never know what's going on with Pops from day to day. But I'll be there. I'll probably be there. You know, I love Texas. I've gone to Texas twice this year. I'll be going for the 3rd time later on this week. Or no, later on this month. So yeah, 4th time will be a charm later on this year. God willing. Devin Cruz says, I'll answer it for you. Crawford would outbox him and Spence would knock him out. Talking about Ennis? I mean, I don't know about Spence knocking him out. Maybe. It's possible. But yeah, Crawford would definitely outbox him for sure. But yeah, shout out to everyone here. It's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. Keenan K says, is Pops there? No, Pops is not here right now. Pops is running errands right now. So I'm dolo right now. Who did better against Lopez, Loma or Nakatani? That's debatable. I think they did. I think I'm gonna have to go back and watch the Nakatani fight, but if my memory is to be correct, you know, I gave him like 4 rounds. And I gave Lomachenko about 4 rounds. So you know, it's up for interpretation. But I'll say Lomachenko did slightly better because I think his punches had more of an effect on Lopez. Felipe says James Harden chokes in the playoffs. Trust me, I know. Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I like James Harden. He's one of the most talented players in the history of basketball, but he just the way the Rockets construct that team and allow him to just do whatever he wants is no bueno. You know, they gotta just restructure everything, in my opinion. Mikey lost 1 fight, bro. Yeah, no, he lost. Well, he was gonna lose to Salido, but he quit. I can see why Loma thought he beat him. How, Sway? How did Lomachenko beat him? Someone explain that to me. For everybody who's saying that Lomachenko got a draw or that Lomachenko beat Lopez, in the comments, put down the rounds that you thought he won. Put down the rounds you thought he won, because I thought Lopez won rounds 1 through 7, and he won round 12, and I think he might have even won round 9 or 10. I can't remember if it was 9 or 10, but he won one of those rounds. You know? I mean, Lomachenko, everybody keeps saying Lomachenko would have won if he started earlier. And the crazy thing is, right? They say Lomachenko would have won if he started earlier. But it almost sounds similar to when Adrian Broner loses a fight. They say, oh, Adrian Broner didn't win because he doesn't let his hands go. So now Lomachenko's becoming the Ukrainian Adrian Broner. You know, there's a reason why he didn't start earlier. He didn't lose this fight because he did not start early because he was just timid and he was rusty. Maybe the long layup had a role to play slightly, but I mean, Lopez was out there for 10 months himself, so that's not an excuse. You know, he didn't get off to a good start against Lopez because that's just how he fights. If you watch when he fights, Lomachenko, when he has his outside foot, right? I want you to listen, and I want you guys, when I say this, don't just take what I'm saying at face value Don't just take what I'm saying and comment back. Go listen to what I'm saying. When Lomachenko fights, go watch any of his fights. Any of his fights. You can watch Pedraza. You can watch Teofimo. You can watch any fight. The way he fights, his lead right foot, when it's on the outside of yours, he's just gonna tap you, lean to the right. But he doesn't commit to any offense at all, ever, until he has that inside foot on the inside of his opponent's foot. So, and the thing is too, what I'll normally do too is when he has that foot on the inside of your foot, he'll throw a jab and he'll dart out real quickly. But when he darts out at the same speed. It's like he'll go bang and he darts out the same speed, and it's always he pulls straight back. Does it every single fight. That's why when he fought Linares, he got clipped with that right hand. And it's the same thing with Lopez. Same thing with Lopez. You know what I'm saying? Now I see everybody in the comments again. Shout out to my man Felipe Garcia. And shout out to Hark Detailing. The best detailing shop in Dallas, Texas. Go over to Hark Detailing if you're in the Texas area for all your detailing needs for your car. But yeah, he said make sure y'all hit the like button. Smash that like button, guys. Y'all know what it is. I see you guys are giving the rounds. Fernando Mason says 7-5 Lopez, 8-5 Lopez. Okay. Tio won rounds 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 12. Loma won rounds 2, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So you gave him, what is that, 5 rounds? So that's from 115, 113, or 115, 113, I think. I respect your scorecard. I didn't have Lomachenko win the second round. That was the round that Andre Ward scored for Lomachenko, and my boy Alex, who was watching the fight, he gave it on Lomachenko as well. I gave Lopez the first 7 rounds, but I respect it. My man Mini Max Boxing. Everybody go subscribe to Mini Max. He's the next one up in South Florida. He's the next one up in South Florida. He's like he's the one. He's the next one up. Great channel. The kid's like 14, 15 years old and knows as much boxing as anybody. MMA champ says, "Talk your shit, True School." We're gonna talk our shit, man. We're gonna talk our shit, man. Because listen, I took a lot of criticism for this fight. I had people telling me, BT, you don't know shit about boxing. BT, you're delusional. I was going back and I was watching some of my old videos talking about this fight from last year, and one guy was like, "Man, you're better than this. You're better than this, man. Lomachenko's gonna make this man quit. He's gonna do this. He's gonna do that." And he couldn't even get it. He didn't even get out of second gear until what was it, the 8th round, 8th, 9th round? Took him a while. He was too busy downloading the information. Lopez was the Apple, and this guy was using Linux. So he should have upgraded his computer, his software. Teofimo Lopez had Windows 7, and Lomachenko had Windows 98. If y'all remember Windows 98, man, I'm showing my age here. Windows 98. But let's talk about that 12th round. That 12th round to me is what really showed me so much from Teofimo, because let's have it right. Depending on your scorecard, that 12th round could have been like the difference in the fight. We could have really had a different winner on a lot of people's scorecards if Lomachenko had won that 12th round. But Lopez showed the ability to bite down when the going got tough. When Lomachenko got his rhythm, when he started doing all that matrix shit, and all credit to Lomachenko. All credit to Lomachenko. He went straight to Teofimo Lopez. He was walking him down. He was backing him up. He had me on edge for a little bit there, but Teofimo had something for him all night. When Lomachenko threw a combination, Lopez would roll. He would catch a shot and he would roll with the shot, and he did a hell of a job in answering all the questions that he had all night for Teofimo. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy to see that Teofimo won the fight. And that's what it is. Johnny Berber, what's up, champ? He said Loma got matrixed by Teofimo Lopez. Shout out to you, Johnny. By the way, guys, everybody, I want everybody here also go subscribe to my man Johnny Berber's channel. You know, he does a lot of self-improvement videos and he helps men out dealing with their anxiety and depression and life struggles and vices, and it's a lot of good stuff on his channel. So go over there. Go over there and subscribe to my man Johnny Berber. But yeah, Loma got matrixed by Tio. You damn right, Johnny. You damn right. Tio is the new Matrix. You damn right. Tio is the new Matrix. You damn right. Teofimo Lopez is the Matrix. All right. He's Neo. You know. Lomachenko shot his gun. Lomachenko shot his gun at Teofimo Lopez, and Teofimo Lopez did that shit in the Matrix where Neo's like this, and like the bullet sails over his shoulder in slow motion. That's Teofimo Lopez now. That's right. Shout out to my man NYC. NYC said no excuses. Loma didn't do a rematch clause. He thought he would win for sure. Lopez probably laughed. Okay, want to take all or over? No crying. You got your bag, Loma. I had it 116 to 112 for Teofimo Lopez. Exactly. Shout out to NY. I had the same exact thing, 116 to 112. Now we got a hater in the comments. We got my man Mike Myers. My man Mike Myers. He says, "So what? Teofimo Lopez is basic." Okay, well he basically outboxed.
Everybody that you guys is bleeding for.
Listen, first it was he's too green. Then it was he's gonna duck the fight. Then it was Lomachenko's giving him money to do all this stuff. You know, and now he's basic. So listen, he can be basic, he could be simple, he could be complex. Who gives a damn? Who gives a rat's ass? A W is a W. A W is a W. So shout out to Teofimo Lopez.
Look at the fact of the matter is Lomachenko don't have the belt anymore.
That's it. Shout out to my man Jairo Galvez with the $1.99 super chat. He says next time you are in LA, you better be in a yellow Jeep. Oh man. Hey, we can't listen. We can't talk about it too much here, Jairo. We know who has a yellow Jeep in LA. I might be driving a yellow Jeep when I go to LA. But yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope to go to LA very soon. At least for my birthday. Back in February, I want to go to LA, and I want to see if I can get in that yellow Jeep. Shout out to Sinisa Estrada. Anyway, Haney doesn't stand a chance against Teofimo Lopez. You know what? Let's talk about that, because a lot of people are talking about Devin Haney. A lot of people are talking about you know, he's gonna do this and he's gonna do that. I want, for people who think Devin Haney is gonna beat Teofimo Lopez, please explain to me why do you think he's gonna beat Teofimo Lopez? Because when I watch Devin Haney fight, I see a fighter that he's got a great blend of speed and power. I see a guy that has potential, but that's all it is at the moment. It's potential, you know. And what is greatness? What is greatness in life and boxing? Greatness is the absence of potential. I'm all on your asses today. I'm dropping quotables. Greatness is the absence of potential, and right now he's just living out potential. You know, I think he's a fighter that is a good combination puncher, got good speed. He has a really good punch selection. But honestly, no, it's not. This isn't even a who you fought thing. There's one. I'm gonna point it out to you. I'm gonna point it out to you. There's one thing that if they fight, it's gonna cost Devin Haney, and I'm gonna tell you, it's his lack of balance. If you watch Devin Haney when he throws combinations, he be falling off balance. You know, all that stuff. Teofimo Lopez don't fall off balance. Teofimo Lopez don't have that problem. So until Devin Haney corrects his balance and footwork problem, he ain't being Teofimo Lopez.
First it was that Lomachenko had that.
Hey, Pops, come on, Pops, come over here. They don't want to talk to me. They want Pops. They want the main attraction. They want the pay-per-view attraction. Y'all ask for Pops. Pops is here now.
I'm here. I picked the fight to be a UD for Teofimo, but I've been saying from the get-go, Teofimo will beat Lomachenko based on his power. It actually didn't go the way I wanted to, but he did dominate the fight. He was in charge. He was in charge to more of the fight. I mean, Lomachenko just waited too long. I'll be honest with you. He waited too long to put it on Teofimo when he thought he was going to put it on. But I think his game plan was to tire out Teofimo. When he found out that Teofimo was quick with his jab, he could stop his angling and do this, he was like pivoting. It was a whole different game because you didn't see Lomachenko do what he usually does in all the previous fights.
Yeah, there was no matrix.
That didn't happen. So the bottom line is everybody can say whatever they want. Everybody that was dick running Lomachenko, and I do respect Lomachenko. He's one of the best fighters in the world today. I'm still not taking that away from him. But I just, for some reason, didn't think he was going to beat Teofimo. And guess what? He didn't do it. Teofimo came through. So all you guys, who want to be haters need to be appreciators because the takeover is here to stay.
Do you think Lomachenko will beat Lopez? Beat Haney?
No, I'm not even questioning. I'm not even sleeping over that one. So yes.
Lomachenko over Haney?
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Lomachenko.
Lomachenko.
Think that through. Vasyl Lomachenko versus Devin Haney. How does that one go?
Oh, wow. I thought it was Teofimo. I think Haney will give him. I think Haney's a bigger fighter too than Lomachenko. So I think if Lomachenko does not stay within his weight class, which I know, what's Haney, 135 too? 135, but he's a lot bigger. He's gonna have problems with guys bigger than him. So I would probably in that fight, believe it or not, I would take Haney.
You would?
I would take
Lomachenko.
Yeah, I think Lomachenko has the skills and everything, but what he showed me against Teofimo, being the bigger fighter and everything, does not happen.
Haney doesn't have the footwork to beat Lomachenko.
That could be it.
Like the reason Teofimo could beat Lomachenko is because Teofimo could pivot with him. He has the reflexes. Yeah. Haney has reflexes, but he don't have that footwork.
Yeah. So
he's falling off balance and stuff.
So let's make that fight happen. Haney, Lomachenko's gonna come. I think Lomachenko's gonna go back to 130. I think that's where he's gonna go. I don't think he even wants a rematch. He didn't even put a clause out for a rematch. That's how much disrespect he had for Teofimo. So you know,
Top Rank already had all of Teofimo's next fights mapped out after he lost Lomachenko.
Yeah, that's kind of disrespectful. I mean, Bob had to win it either way. You know what I mean? So he didn't care. But at the end of the day, you gotta put respect to Teofimo for the simple fact he been calling because he came into the weight class. He been calling out everybody. He started calling out Lomachenko a long time ago. Lomachenko saying, "Oh, you gotta join the club. Come to my club." He came to your motherfucking club. He did it on the competition before that. Got in your club, got the fight, and then showed you out in front of people, in front of people on TV. He showed you what he was all about. So the problem was with Lomachenko was he couldn't do what he did with everybody else. He underestimated what Teofimo was all about.
Absolutely. So there you have it from Pops. My man Haney, the next Shane Mo, he says, "Are you going to Haney versus Gamboa at the Hard Rock in Hollywood, Florida?" I really wanted to go to that fight, but unfortunately, Matchroom Boxing, it's a closed door event. Matchroom Boxing is not allowing any media or fans, so I can't go to the fight. But what I'm planning to do during that week is I'm gonna hit up some people in the boxing world. I'm gonna try to get some interviews set up. And I'm gonna go to the Hard Rock during the weekend. I'm just gonna wait around because I know how boxing is. I know that if you wait around in the casino and you're running to somebody eventually. So I'm gonna probably go down there and do that. During that whole week, I'll just be at the Hard Rock. So that's what I'm planning on doing. But it's unfortunate because I really wanted to go to that fight. Pops is taking over, yeah, man. Yeah, Pops is the man. It's always good to have him on. Pop with the Platano power. Damn right. Mike Myers says, of course he was going to beat Lomachenko. Who didn't know that? A lot of people were saying that, he was going to lose Lomachenko and that was crazy. I don't know shit about boxing and all that stuff. So you'd be surprised. Teofimo Lopez, Fight News. He says, y'all just looking for anyone who you think can beat Teofimo now. Lomachenko fans talking about he needs to go fight Terrence Crawford. Yeah. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Y'all are just Lopez fans. I love Lopez. Lopez was one of my favorite fighters, but he won that fight. And I'm not saying anything. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. I told people well in advance before this fight happened what was gonna happen. I told everybody why Lomachenko would lose. And I mean I didn't think Teofimo was gonna outbox him, but the reason Lomachenko lost were for the exact reasons I said he would lose. That Teofimo was younger. That he was just more, he had the right blend. He had the right blend of skills to beat him. I just dropped a whole compilation on my channel, 20 minutes of clips from all those videos of what I was saying, and I sound like a freaking prophet. I sound like Mrs. Cleo. Haney would not beat Shakur Stevenson, absolutely not. No way. Who is not basic? Roma Gonzalez. He's not basic. Roma Gonzalez ain't basic. Tyson Fury isn't basic. Who else isn't basic? Terrence Crawford isn't basic. Canelo isn't basic. There's a lot of fighters in boxing who aren't basic. Lomachenko, I will get your comment, Gabriel. Who do you want to see Bivol face next? I would like to see probably. I mean, Beater Biev, obviously, because it's the unification fight. But if not Beater Biev, I would say probably Buatsi. I'd like to see Buatsi. If Buatsi thinks he's ready, I would like to see Buatsi step up. That'd be a good fight, Boati versus him. That's right. Fight News, remember, he said, exactly, True School. I remember you saying it, and I totally agree from the beginning. Exactly. Because Fight News, he know about boxing. He knows about boxing. Not saying that anybody who disagrees with me doesn't know about boxing, because there was a lot of people that got this fight wrong, whose opinions I respect. And they had Lomachenko. They're shocked. So this is what makes boxing great, when we have these competitive fights like this, where you don't know who's gonna win, and basically, you got half the boxing world picking one guy, half the boxing world picking the other guy, and that's what makes great fights. So yeah. But Andrade's not basic. GMB Catastrophe, what's up, champ? How you living? Gabriel says Loma collected 3 of the belts and made an express delivery to Lopez. That's tough. You damn right. He said what Lomachenko say? He said, I get the belt from Linares, I get the belt from Pedraza, I get the belt from everybody. You give me my belt. Teofimo, here, I give you my belts, Teofimo. He gave him that straight express delivery on he gave him that UPS express, that 1595 express shopping, that express delivery. But yeah, man. Hey, shout out to everybody who's here, man. I appreciate everybody. Couple of programming reminders for you guys as the week progresses. We'll be live this weekend for the Carlos Cuadras versus Gaia Estrada rematch, live fight reaction for that. So make sure you guys make your plans to be here for that fight. It's gonna be a great time. I'll be breaking that fight down on a live later on this week. We got the following week we got what's his name? Alexander Usyk is fighting Derek Chisora. That'll be in the afternoon on Halloween, and we have Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. So all kinds of boxing. Kell Brook versus Crawford on November 14th. I'm definitely gonna be live for that one. That's a must. Pops.
Yeah.
You guys got any questions for Pops? If you guys got any, listen, right now we're 1 hour and 34 minutes in.
Wow.
If y'all got any questions, direct them to Pops. Direct them to Pops. Get your questions in the Pops. BT's been talking, huh?
Yeah, go ahead. What he said.
I knew when Lomachenko didn't take the fight immediately. That's why I knew that what was up. Loma lost a long time ago. Come on, man. I mean, listen, he's still a great fighter. I'm not shitting on him.
You can't take that away from him.
14th month rust on Loma. Lopez should KO him, but he didn't do nothing. Then a single punches and get beat in the end. Get his ass beat in the end. So he was doing single punches when he had Lomachenko backing up like this on the ropes, and he was throwing combinations to the body. Oh yeah, Joe Mata. I told you, champ. I told you, Joe. I told you. My fave fighter is getting bamboozled by my favorite boxing channel. Lord have mercy. You damn right. I try to listen. Normally if I get fights right, it's just kind of cool. Like, I'm happy about it for like a day or two, and then I'm going my life. Nah, this one, I'm gonna be talking about this for the rest of the year. I'll probably talk about it for another year.
Did you see your video you put out on the competition?
Yeah, and if you haven't done so already, go check out the 20-minute compilation of clips from all those videos of what I was saying way prior to this fight happening. Man. Enrique says BT worked the Hard Rock for interviews for Gamboa and Haney. I can try, man. I really do want to. I do want to try to find a way in if I can. Would Roberto Duran have beaten Loma both in their primes at 130? What does Pops think? So Johnny wants to know that. Do you think Lomachenko could have beat Roberto Duran in his prime at 135?
Duran was a beast his own way. He was Mano the Big. He was Mano de Piedra. He had hands of stones.
But do you think he could beat Lomachenko?
No.
Wait, no, you don't think he could beat Lomachenko? So you think Lomachenko would win?
No. No, you got me messed up. I got Durant beat. I think Durant would beat him again because if Lomachenko fought at that time again, he would still have problem with the weight class and the weight division that he went out.
He'll be downloading the information.
Who's that?
Lomachenko.
Yeah, downloading that damn punches coming.
I watched the video on Lomachenko. They were showing like his.
I was talking to the post conference.
They had his mental trainings. They had his exercise. Like it has the numbers. Look, he's doing this right. He's doing all this shit right. And then after he does that for like 5 minutes, he goes and he stacks a bunch of, like Jenga, the blocks.
Yeah.
He stacks a bunch of Jenga blocks and they chop each other.
Listen, I'm not gonna take nothing away from Lomachenko, because I'm gonna tell you one thing. It's worked for him for so long. All those crazy trainings.
He's beating a bigger dudes at 135.
Right. I love that his training. Not a lot of fighters do the shit he does. Nobody goes on top of a cliff and do the shit he did on one of the videos I was watching. I thought it was crazy what he was doing. I'm like, this motherfucker's sick. But I mean, so everybody got their way of doing it. I think he'll be, once he goes back to 130, I think he'll dominate the 130. But if he goes up to 135 or higher, he's done.
What do you think about hold on. What do you think about Ryan Garcia versus Luke Campbell? Who are you picking that fight? Who do you think is going to win? I'm not asking who you like, so don't tell me who you like. Who are you picking?
Oh man,
who do you believe is going to be the victorious one in that fight on December the 5th?
I like Campbell, but I just think Garcia is going to pull it out.
How?
I think
decision or stoppage or?
I don't know. I mean, with that one, I'd probably say I'm going to go with. I would say if he beats him, he's not going to fold. He's not going to fold Campbell down. He's not folding Campbell.
You might be right.
He's not going to fold Campbell. Right now, Ryan Garcia just came out and said he said, fuck the other shit. I want to fight
Lopez?
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Okay, all of a sudden, right? All of a sudden.
He forgot about Tank. He forgot about everybody else he was calling out. Rolly, everybody else. Now he wants to fight him. He better not get in there with TOT or fuck him up.
Yeah. So he's going with Ryan. Where is the one guy that's obsessed with Loma, Tomek, or whatever? I don't know who you're talking about. Let me see. Jairo Galvez with the $1. Shout out to my man Jairo with the $1.99 super chat.
Anything else, baby.
He said, "Pops train BT to throw Wang Hang Maniyothin. I'll beat the shit out of Wang Hang Maniyothin. He's too small." Yo, Jairo says we need Pops to get one of those WBC trainer belts like Lopez, like Lopez Senior. You know what I'm saying? NYC says, "Pops, remember," they say, "Pops, do you remember Larry Bird?"
Larry Bird. I remember Larry Bird.
Here we go. Good man.
Kevin McHale.
Name the whole roster.
Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Cornbread Maxwell. Let me see. Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Cornbread Maxwell, Gerald Henderson. I name a lot of Celtics. What's up? Of course, I grew up in those Celtics years when the Celtics were dominating the NBA. When Magic was playing the Lakers, when Dr. J and the Philadelphia 76ers were there, the rivalry between Boston and Philly, that's the era that I grew in. Believe it or not,
he come from that era. No, he come from that era.
The Evelyn Miles, Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roberto Durant, Victor Atafermo, Wilfred Benitez. You know what I mean? Those boxing will never be the same.
I don't know about all that. I think boxing is in an amazing place right now. I think it's as great as it's ever been, to be honest with you.
The point I'm putting in a lot of boxes are more business-like.
I think Teofimo Lopez is going to change the game.
And I hate that. I just get in there.
I think Teofimo Lopez with that one's going to change the game.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Because now when a young fighter makes an excuse saying I'm too young, they're going to say, well, what about Teofimo? He wasn't too young. No. How are you any different?
That's right. And he moved up and he was afraid to take on anybody. He didn't duck nobody.
Yeah.
He didn't go quacking like motherfuckers. Dr. Duck Quacker. Haney calling all the ducks. Call him out. He's not gonna be. He ain't beat Teofimo. He ain't beat Tank.
Here's one for you. How about Tank versus Teo? The one versus Takeover.
Tank's got the Tank's got the power and everything. But I'm gonna say one thing. I haven't seen it, and I don't know what you guys think about him. I'm kind of pissed off at Tank because Tank couldn't even go 8 strong rounds with one broken leg Gamboa, one leg Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? So if Teo fought him, based on what my theory, that's why I look at that. Tank has got power, but I think Teofimo will overcome. I think Teofimo will give him a run for his money.
Yo, Jairo is hilarious. Jairo says we need Pops with a mask that B-Hop used to beat Trinidad. That was a great mask too. GMB Catastrophe says no one's beating Durant at lightweight, even welterweight. If he had kept his training together, he would have been dominant. He wasn't overmatched until he hit middleweight. That is a 100% indisputable fact. Yeah, no, listen, Mike. He is gonna change. He's gonna change the game in terms of these young fighters. These young fighters, they can't use the excuse anymore. Because now, anytime they're using the excuse, Teofimo is going to be used as the example. They're going to say, "Oh, well, Teofimo did it. Why can't you?"
Yeah.
So, and when I say change the game, I mean he's going to change. That win has the potential to change the culture of boxing a little bit, just a little bit for these young fighters.
I think a lot of it is too. Like, don't be afraid of stepping up to the next level, and taking that big shot. Don't be afraid if you're that dominant fighter. Like, take for example, Tank been on a witness protection for how long, right? Tank could have had all these fights.
He's been in what?
And witness protection plan for how long? he could have all these fights for the longest time, right? But no, Mayweather and Ellerby want to protect him, and he's the one, and he's this, and he's that. He could have been probably in that position to beat Lomachenko if he had fought Lomachenko or vice versa when they were and had a fight. He didn't do that. He didn't step up to the plate. I don't care how you want to look at it. He didn't step up to the plate. Okay? Ryan Garcia, he'll get folded up by Teofimo. Folded the fuck up by Teofimo. I'm telling you that right now. Okay? Right now, people, what I like about what Teofimo did, he didn't care. He took his chance and he believed in himself when he did it. Like, everybody believes in himself, don't get me wrong, but he has enough balls to do it. Tank didn't do it. The other fighters didn't do it. The Devin Haney didn't do it.
Nope.
They have the shot. He was the promoter. He could have had a chance before he had the belts. Did he step up to the plate?
Nope.
No. Lomachenko, the only one I did it was Teofimo, and he built the fight up and he did it. And Lomachenko seemed disrespected him. In what way? They already had him. Not have, like you said, like his father said, they didn't even give us a rematch clause. And why should I give him the disrespect? So bottom line is, all those other ducks you all want to call, or all the ducks on the list that Haney got, you might as well take Teofimo, because Teofimo is a big duck right now, and you guys are the ones quacking for not taking the shot. Wasn't that chance? Tank, you didn't take the chance. Tank, I love Tank, but Tank been on witness protection plan. Motherfucking Haney been on protection plan.
Oh,
all these motherfuckers
tell how you
here.
feel, Pops.
I'm just sick of this bullshit.
Tell him,
they didn't stand up. They didn't grab their balls. They didn't go to step to the plate. They all want to be protection plan. So this is what happens. The real man from Davie, Florida, went up there and showed Lomachenko and everybody and behind down for him who the real king was, and they didn't believe him. So take that big quack to the bank.
Dang. See what you did? See what y'all did? Y'all done got Pops.
Yeah, man.
Going.
I'm tired of Tank. Tank ain't shit.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I would say because Tank is good. Tank is good. He's great. He's everything. But you know why I call him he ain't shit? Because his fucking management didn't have the big fights that he's supposed to have.
Finally, Santa Cruz.
Fuck Leo Smith. We can call somebody else. What kind of shit is that? Motherfucking Haney wants to fight. Don't want to fight Verdejo, Puerto Rico. Don't want to fight. Was Campbell? We could have fought Campbell, right? He's fighting He's fighting a motherfucker, a one-step horse that just went on an operation and got his leg better to run another race for what? For what? What's your point, Haney? What's your point in that?
So he can say he stopped him.
Yeah. What's your point on that?
I thought you were talking about Davis for a second.
I did. Now I'm going to Haney. Yeah, I'm going right now. Yeah,
he's pivoting.
Haney could have fought Verdejo, could have fought even Campbell. But no, he want to fight
even Comey.
Yeah, Comey. Exactly, Comey. He want to fight a one-legged horse that got an operation, barely healed. Is an old prime Cuban boxer. He's still good. He's average, but he's not the top dog. And Haney, if you want real top dogs, you have your duck list. Is the fighter you're fighting, is he on your duck list? No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. He wasn't on your list. So if he wasn't on your fucking list, my Haney, you shake your shit out and fight the real people.
Look what y'all did. Y'all said y'all want to pop his talking, and you guys don't know what you started. You guys started a nuclear war.
Yeah.
Ninja says Tank needs to get in shape right now. Leave him be.
You right. That fool need to get in shape. That fool couldn't hear him go 8 rounds. 8 rounds with a broken horse on one leg.
He's gonna have I think,
you know what I'm saying?
He's gonna have a great performance.
So
I think against Tank.
Yeah, right.
He's gonna bounce back in a major way.
But I mean, Tank could have had the bigger fights, bigger than Tank than Leo Cruz. Leo Cruz, what?
But he's on pay-per-view.
Yeah, pay-per-view. Yeah, because why? Showtime.
He's the one,
and he's the one. But guess what? He wasn't the one because not him, not Haney, not motherfuckers. Who else was that? As I said, that the top 135ers. 35 didn't want to step up to the fight.
Didn't want to
step up and did what Teofimo did. They call everybody out, but they hide behind the scenes when they kind of have the opportunity before even Teofimo. When Teofimo was the prospect way on the bottom, that Lomachenko was saying he was a motherfucker. You know, and when Lomachenko was fucking saying, "Oh no, he can't. You know, he's a prospect. He ain't shit." Well, Tank was still up there on the top. Why didn't he fucking fight him? Why didn't fucking Mayweather put him in there? Hey, you what promoter? Where the fuck didn't you fight him? Huh? So you better put respect to Teofimo. Understand that whoever gets in there with him is gonna get fucked up.
Damn.
And you can put it in the bank.
Oh man, Pop, y'all don't know. Like, see, when y'all ask your Pops to give his opinion and to get our man, you don't know what you got to start. You got to start a nuclear World War.
I just don't like that people protect fighters, and then all of a sudden now.
Well, what about people who say that most fighters are protected? What do you?
I don't give a shit. If a fighter wants to fight somebody, he'll tell his manager, "Listen, I want to fight that motherfucker. I hired you as my manager.
Yeah.
You don't get to do it. Get the fuck out of here. I'll find another manager. Well, give me the fights that I want. Shut up to that. How about that? Fuck your managers. Fuck making excuses and grab your fucking balls and stand up and fight.
Well, what if the managers had to look out for the best interests of the fighters?
Well, that's what's happening with Tank.
Tank?
Well, how many belts does Tank have? How many belts does Tank have? How many belts does Haney have? Huh? And so forth and so forth.
Zero. Haney has 0 belts because that email shit don't count.
Well, I'm trying to tell you, not these lollipop belts I'm talking about. I'm talking about real belts. Gumball machine belts. Okay? So I don't want to hear this shit. All these motherfuckers are witness protection thing. You better take notes. The takeover's here, baby.
The takeover. Hey, Alex, you want to chime in?
Oh, man,
You want to chime in about Lomachenko or Lopez or Haney or any of that? You gonna chill today? Alex gonna chill today.
He's
gonna chill. Yo, Hyro says, Pops, you can sing along with Alpha to the Sing national anthem when Berlanga fights. You can sing he's saying you can sing the national anthem when Berlanga fights.
That's it. Berlanga is a beast, boy. That's another dog you to watch out for. Canelo, you think he's a chump and you taking all these another gumball fighter? Take him, Berlanga, motherfucker. See what's up. Even though I think
I got a fight for you. I got a fight that you would have loved. What do you think about Devin Haney versus Alberto Machado?
Oh shit! And that fight?
But I'm saying, do you think that'd be an acceptable fight?
For Devin Haney?
Yes.
No. I want him to call all the fucking ducks that he called.
Machado, man, you like Machado?
I love Machado. Machado's coming back. I love opposing fighters, but I want him to.
Okay.
I want my baby.
But he likes Machado.
I do like Machado. I love Machado. I love Verdejo. I love Berlanga. I love my Puerto Rican fighters.
Devin Haney was not winning protection. Loma gave his belt to him in vacancy. Well, you know what? I'm not gonna say he was winning protection, but he hasn't necessarily been like.
Listen. The bottom line is this: whether that happened or not, didn't happen.
They say
he got that belt,
that
that free belt he didn't earn. Okay, that's fine. But my bottom line is this: Haney's his own promoter. Haney has been saying for the longest time that he wants this, he wants that, and then he goes fight a fucking horse that has one leg. But you tell me that one.
But he agrees.
But I'm just saying. So how can I respect that?
How can you duck Devin Haney if you're fighting Teofimo Lopez? Who's Devin Haney?
Yeah.
Who is he?
Who ducked him?
Did Teofimo Lopez duck Devin Haney?
Fortuna for every
He stayed quiet when he called him out.
Who did?
Fortuna.
No, for who? Haney stay quiet.
No, Haney's been calling.
Fortuna calls everybody out. Fortuna, I'll find anybody.
He didn't say Haney. Haney has been calling him out.
Okay, but who's anybody?
Haney also called Campo. He also called out Ryan Garcia.
Okay,
he also called out Lopez earlier this year too.
Yeah. He called Lopez, but that's now.
Earlier this year he called out Lopez.
I agree, Hyro.
All I'm saying to you is this:
before
you call anybody out, you better legitimize who you're fighting on your fights and put some quality fighters on your resume. Okay, I don't think Gamboa is the best fight that he should pick himself coming up now. Don't make it sound
honestly. It's kind of like look, I'm not. We know Haney's a very talented fighter.
No, I'm not disrespecting. I like his dad and everything. He's a hard worker. He put his time in the gym.
Yeah,
he
very
works and I'm proud of what he's done. I'm very proud of everything he's done. I'm just saying, if you're gonna sit down and call out all these big fighters, and then you go to the flea market and you pick a freaking used up horse that's got a broken leg or whatever, or used up piece of fucking equipment, then I can't see that.
I got a question for you.
He did call. I'll give him that. He did call out Gary Russell. Whatever happened with that Gary Russell, I would have loved to see that fight. It didn't happen. Okay.
I have a question for you. Let's say if Teofimo Lopez leaves 135 and doesn't fight Devin Haney next, and let's just say he fights the winner of Taylor Ramirez, do you consider that ducking Devin Haney?
Who, Teofimo?
Teofimo, yeah.
No.
Why?
Bottom line is,
but you know they're gonna say.
Bottom line, he beat the best. He beat the best. The best fighter, which people claim was Lomachenko with the 3 belts. Teofimo beat him, so it doesn't matter what the fuck Haney says because he didn't prove it. He doesn't have nothing behind him.
Prospect.
That's it. So that's all don't mean shit. That's all just sugarcoating shit. It's like a cake with whipped cream on it. That's all they fucking got. Cake cream and that's it. Doesn't mean a fucking shit because he didn't take a bite of the real champions. And Teofimo is the real champion because he got the 4 belts. So I don't know how you want to argue this shit. He got 4 motherfucking belts. They're not Haney, not fucking Tank, not motherfucking Campbell, not fucking Verdejo, not fucking Diva fucking Garcia. I don't want to hear shit about anybody. Okay, nobody did what fucking Teofimo did. Fuck Haney.
Yo, chill. Don't say fuck Haney.
All right, man.
That's too much.
Okay.
That's why I'm gonna cut you out. You're not gonna say fuck Haney.
Screw Haney.
No.
Okay, screw Haney, because I don't want you all want to say build him up to be somebody he is, and I'm telling you he's not. He's not a proven champion. He didn't go after what he's supposed to go after, so I don't want to hear it. Until who he's gonna fight now?
Gamboa,
Who's Gamboa?
a former world champion,
A former world champion, yes.
Olympian.
That fought one leg against Tank. What happened with him fighting? Why didn't the Tank and him fight get made?
Because he's fighting in Santa Cruz.
Forget that. Why couldn't it get done if it was that big of a thing? Because you have politics between the Floyd, you got the Floyd team, and you got politics between protecting him from whatever the case may be. If he wants to be the best TBE,
more politics than
he
CNN.
better go call. He better go call 1-800-TBE and get some more advice because he needs it.
Okay, well, there you have it. By the way, Hyro says you need to drink some jinxing teas to calm down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so make of that what you will, guys. Make of that what you will. My man Johnny Berber, he asked probably the question of all questions: Teofimo Lopez versus Josh Taylor. Now, to me,
Ooh, that'd be a fight.
That's-
We're just talking about that.
that is the toughest fight
Ooh.
out there for Teofimo Lopez. I don't think it's Haney.
Yeah.
I think Haney. I'm not gonna say Haney's an easy fight for him, but he's gonna win that fight.
Yeah.
You know, that's a tough fight. Like if he fights, let's say if Taylor does what I think he's gonna do and does the business against Ramirez, which is not a given because Ramirez is a very high quality fighter. That's a tough fight because Taylor is southpaw, elite speed, fantastic body puncher. He's got the right touch of aggressiveness. He's been in all kinds of fights, very well experienced. That's a 50-50. And honestly, I'm not even sure who I pick right now. I have to really go back and watch the tape on that. Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez. I have to watch. I have to go watch the tape. I'm not even sure. But we'll see, man. But we'll leave it at that, guys. It's we're almost 2 hours in, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. But we appreciate everybody who's been here. Thank you guys so much.
Before you guys go,
Hold on. Go ahead.
Devin Haney posted on the story of his FaceTime video with Teofimo. All right. So
What he posted?
Why he posted?
Wait.
Why is it on the internet again?
Yeah,
what the contract?
What was he posting? What was he saying?
I want to let Alex talk. It's not
Hey.
on the bar.
All right. They've been wanting to fight each other since last year, actually. They even been sparring and everything, bro. Here's a bunch of videos talking about it.
I know. I watched the videos.
I'm saying Devin Haney isn't ducking Lopez. He called out all these dudes. I don't see no witness protection program for Haney.
Well, I never said he's been the protection. Pop said that.
Yeah, I said
for
that.
Haney.
Yeah, I'm the one that said that.
He said that. I don't think he's been the protection. I just think there seems to be a reluctancy from him and his dad to not fight any sort of quality fighters.
Because they all ducked him.
So you mean to tell me Richard
Teofimo
Comey,
ducked him?
Felix Verdejo, George Kambosos Jr., Lee Selby.
You mean those dudes coming off of losses and stuff? And Lee Selby has
What is that? What, hold on. Listen to what you
And
just
Loma?
said. What is Gamboa coming off of?
Yeah,
A loss.
No, I know, but like, thing is though, all right.
You can't rationalize. There's no way you can rationalize.
Yeah,
the
you
Gamboa
can't.
fight.
You're not gonna win this.
But Lee Selby and George Kambosos,
They're fighting each other.
Yeah, they're fighting each other in another eliminator.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
What about Verdejo? Verdejo ain't got no plans.
He would have been able to fight,
I mean, he could have fight him, but
How about Comey? I mean, Comey just got to fight now, but he didn't have a fight for a while.
and he was easy.
yeah.
You don't think he would have? You don't think he would have fought? You don't think Comey would have fought Haney?
I don't know. I think Haney wouldn't have mind fighting Comey either, but he just didn't see where that was going to get him in the WBC ranking.
Okay.
Do you,
Because Comey
Alex,
isn't ranked in the
in your own
WBC.
opinion, Alex, what do you feel about Haney? Do you think he's ever going to be undisputed?
Man, like he has a shot. He has a shot. They're agreeing to fight each other.
Okay.
They look like they want to fight each other, so
Okay, yeah.
he has a shot at it.
Would
all
you
right?
put all your money, 50 grand, on him?
No, Devin Haney.
No.
50 grand.
I don't bet.
You know what? I'll tell you this, man. I'll tell you this. I know he's not a big name. Even if Devin Haney would have came out and said, you know what, I'm fighting Emmanuel Ortega in my next fight, that would have been better than Gamboa. That would have been better than Gamboa. Linares, I mean, look.
Anything better
Linares
than
would have been all right.
Gamboa. I'm not taking nothing from the Gamboa. I just think Gamboa he's an old horse.
Hector Tanahara would have been a good fight.
Tanahara, yeah.
Jackson Marinia, he's free. He ain't got no plans.
Now, if he says, let's say right now, Haney says, after I fight Gamboa, I'm willing to take the fight.
How about Rolly?
Well,
how about Rolly?
Well, behind the scenes, we already know that, like,
Yeah.
What?
well, the Rolly, that Rolly situation.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't wanna,
yeah. We don't gotta
but
talk
you
about it.
know, so yeah.
Haney FaceTime Tia. He is BSing. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, look, with Devin Haney, I don't believe nothing because anything I hear about Devin Haney is just internet.
Oh no,
Internet.
even Eddie Hearn is talking about making that fight.
Eddie Hearn talks about a lot of things. Eddie Hearn's been talking about getting Demetrius Andrade a fight, and here I am sitting here thinking he can get a Charlo fight, he can get some sort of fight, and he fighting what's that guy's name? Dusty Harrison.
Well, it's a stay busy fight.
In a 10-rounder.
Stay busy fight because Charlo just fought too, so
yeah.
maybe they might make it happen.
Maybe, but we'll leave it at that, guys. So we appreciate everybody who came on who watched the live today. I'm gonna get off the live. I'll be live a couple more times this week before the Roma Gonzalez fight. But you guys take care of yourselves. Keep supporting the channel. Go check out all the content here on True School Sports. A video actually dropped while we were live. There was a video on why Teofimo Lopez Senior should be trainer of the year. So go check that out. Leave your comments down below. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me. But I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.
Sir, man. Devin Haney ain't playing, bro. He FaceTimed the boy and everything.